Hello, I'm Paasivaara. I'm going to present you my paper about teaching the Scrum Master role using professional Agile coaches and communities of practice. I'm currently working at Aalto University in Finland, but this study is based on a course I developed while at the IT University of Copenhagen in Denmark. Let's start from the background. The Scrum Master is one of the vital roles in Scrum. The Scrum team consists of one Scrum Master, one Product Owner, and several developers. The Scrum Master is accountable for establishing Scrum as defined in the Scrum Guide. Thus, they help everyone to understand Scrum, both in theory and in practice. The Scrum Master is accountable for the Scrum team's effectiveness. The Scrum Master is a servant leader that serves the Scrum team, the Product Owner, and the rest of the organization. Thus, the Scrum Master has a lot of responsibilities, both at the team level to make the team work well as on the organizational level, first to make the Scrum adoption a success, and then to keep the whole organization improving. There are only a few studies on the Scrum Master role that have looked into what kind of activities the Scrum Masters do in practice. They actually do even more than the Scrum Guide expects them to do. Thus, the Scrum Masters are required to have quite a broad skill set to be able to teach Agile and Scrum to the others, be good facilitators and people persons, and be change leaders who can plan and lead an Agile transformation in an organization. Companies have challenges in finding these kinds of skilled Scrum Masters. Often the only way for them to get Scrum Masters is to send their own people to commercial Scrum Master courses for training. But these 2-day training courses are not enough. The Scrum Master's job is something that you need to practice, and you need to be coached by experienced Agile coaches while working and learning this role in practice. In this paper, I present how we at a university could respond to this industry need and train students who would have the necessary knowledge and skills to take role as a Scrum Master in industry. Next, I will briefly present the course structure. We actually teach 2 courses concurrently, a Scrum Master course for master students and a software project course for bachelor students who work in Scrum teams as developers. Before the course, we collect project topics from companies, and companies provide product owners that collaborate closely with the teams. We have 7 to 10 students per team, and all teams should use Scrum. On the pilot course, we had 2 teams, and after that 16 teams on the second course instance and 18 teams in the third one. Each Scrum team is assigned also a professional Agile coach that supports the team for 40 hours during the semester. The course size is 7.5 ECTS, which means approximately 200 hours of work per student. We studied 3 research questions in this paper. First, how do professional Agile coaches and student Scrum Masters collaborate in practice, and how do the students benefit from this collaboration? Second, how does the student Scrum Master community of practice work, and how does it benefit the participants? And third, does the background of a student have an effect on his or her performance in the Scrum Master role? One part of the Scrum Master student training was the learning diary that each student should update at least before each of the 3 mandatory review meetings. The learning diary should include the individual learning goals for the project, and for each sprint, discuss and reflect the project and own learning, as well as summarize own contributions. We analyzed the learning diaries from 3 instances of the course, altogether 37 diaries. In addition, we interviewed 13 Scrum Master students after their final exams during the second instance of the course. We asked, for example, about their learning, challenges faced, and collaboration within the Scrum team and with the coach. Agile practices are best learned by doing. In addition, coaching is essential for the success of Agile transformations in companies. Therefore, we hired professional Agile coaches, 1 per each team, to guide the team and the Scrum Master in applying Agile. We gave the students and the coaches quite free hands to arrange the collaboration. The collaboration took place in different ways. Some coaches were very active in the beginning. They gave small trainings to the team and the Scrum Master, as well as demonstrated how a Scrum Master works by acting as a Scrum Master in some of the first Scrum events. Later on, when switching back to the student Scrum Master, the student and the coach could go through the facilitation plan for the next event, get feedback on the plan, and then after the event discuss and receive feedback from the coach. Some coaches and Scrum Masters agreed on weekly meeting slots, either face-to-face or online, to ask questions and to get feedback. We received very positive feedback on coaching from the students. However, many of them mentioned that they wished they had used their coach even more. Some said that in the beginning they were not sure how to use their coach and they were quite shy in asking for help from the coach. Thus, we wrote instructions on how to use a coach, and we encourage on agreeing a regular meeting rhythm. For example, the coach meets with the Scrum Master once a week and every second week with the whole team. When scaling Agile software development, communities of practice, or COPs, have been proposed as a possible solution for learning and knowledge sharing between individuals with similar roles, for example, Scrum Masters. Ideally, a Scrum Master COP is a peer support group for Scrum Masters. For example, Scrum Masters working in the same organization meet regularly, learn together, exchange experiences, and solve problems together. In our course, during the first course instance, we did not suggest a Scrum Master COP, but those two Scrum Masters naturally built a COP. They started meeting over coffee regularly every week and shared their experiences and concerns. This turned out to be a great support forum for them. Thus, after this positive experience, we decided to encourage the Scrum Masters on the second course instance to build a COP. We used lecture slots for the COP meetings, and COPs were facilitated by the coaches, and students brought their questions and problems to be discussed together. Information sharing happened also outside meetings, for example in a Facebook group. The students that participated found the COPs highly useful. Unfortunately, part of the Scrum Masters had agreed working slots with their team at the same time as the COP meetings, and thus could not participate. For the third course instance, we took a different approach. The teachers just introduced the COP idea and gave the whole responsibility of organizing the COP for the students. That way, students could both take more responsibility of organizing the activity and also fit flexibly the meetings to time slots that could work for most Scrum Masters. This solution worked out really well. Based on this experience, we can warmly recommend Scrum Master COPs as they provide a valuable peer learning and support opportunity for the students. We found that it is important to make the purpose of the COP and the benefits to the students crystal clear. Finally, building the Scrum Master COP on self-organization is a good idea, as by self-organizing, students learn how this is done in the industry. However, they do need support and encouragement to get it started and running. Next, we studied whether the student background affects his or her performance as a Scrum Master. Both in the literature and in the industry, there has been discussion on what would be a good background for a Scrum Master. For example, whether a Scrum Master should or should not have a technical background. Our Scrum Master course was open for students from all master's programs at the IT University of Copenhagen, where not all students have technical background. Of the Scrum Masters in this course, 41% had non-technical background and 38% of the students were females. When comparing the final course grades, we noticed that students with non-technical background actually performed somewhat better than computer science students, and female students performed a bit better than males. Finally, female students with non-technical background performed the best. Thus, even though we had a small sample, it seems that the Scrum Master role is a good fit for students with non-technical backgrounds and especially for female students. Actually, after the course, a few of these female students came to me and told that now they know that their future dream job is Scrum Master job, and some of them actually got Scrum Master positions as their first job. Finally, some implications. In the future, we should offer Scrum Master courses to students that have good social skills and are interested in working with people, no matter what their background might be. We should train also non-computer science students as Scrum Masters. And finally, as the Scrum Master role seems to be a good fit to females, this role could help us attract more females to the IT sector. Thank you for listening.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the session about teaching software engineering in real context. We have seen the video from our first presentation, and Maria Paasivaara is here to answer the questions and discuss any issue that you have. Remember that you can write your questions in the chat, and they will be very welcome questions, comment, or anything you would like to chat with the author. So while the different audience get connected, Maria, I have a couple of some questions for you. The first one is about the Agile coaches. How do you manage to get in contact with them? How do you contact or how do you get them involved in this project?
Yeah, thank you. That's a really good question. So, I was also wondering this in the beginning, that do I manage to get enough agile coaches? So how I did it in Copenhagen was that I went to agile meetup group meetings and asked there if the coaches or people who participated were interested in this, and then I organized a small event as one meetup group meeting and told about the course, so possibilities to become a coach and also offering a project. And that way I actually got enough coaches, more than I expected.
Oh, good. Okay, thank you. We have a couple of questions here. We have one from Andreas. He said, if you talk about the performance, how was the performance measured?
Uh, how was the performance measured? Yeah, so maybe you mean grading,
I think so, yeah.
like how the students performed basically.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we had those in a way feedback sessions with the students, normally 3 times during the project. So they presented what they had been doing, and then in the end, it was the last one was in a way graded. So then the team presented together with the Scrum Master the whole project, and we asked them questions. And then in the end, the Scrum Master only had 30 minutes with us, so presenting a little bit what they had learned, what they did, and then we asked questions. And besides that, they wrote also the learning diaries, so they were also used for grading.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. This is the same question that Toger also mentioned about how the students were assessed. Then we have another question about the community of practices. How do you explain it? I'm sorry, but I cannot read in the chat the name of the person because it goes up. So about the community of practices, Maria, how do you explain it to the students?
How we explain the community of practice to the students. So basically, we explain how the communities of practice are used in the industry. There's even articles about that, but basically I explain how they are used in the industry and try to explain the purpose of it to the students. And that's really important so that they would understand why this is important. But I also explain to the students, and that's part of their grading, that they need to explain, for example, in the learning diary, how they participated in the community of practice and what they learned from that, so that
Mm-hmm.
they can get a good grade, so that
Okay.
they understand really that it's important.
Okay. There was another question also about different, how do you measure different kind of knowledge from the students? They explain, for example, about the personality types. If you deal with this during the process.
No, we didn't check their personality types. That would be, of course, interesting further study.
Okay. Then we have another question about how did the Scrum Master coaches initially encourage the students to participate? If they have some strategies to involve them.
um, how did they encourage students
How
to
did they,
participate?
yes.
I was just wondering, participate in what, in the project work or how. But basically, those students in Denmark, so they are really like committed to do those projects. So they don't need that kind of encouragement. But I'm not sure if I understand the question correctly.
Okay.
That is here the purpose of the participation in the community of practice or in the project?
I understand that it's in the project, but well, Andreas can tell us. Okay, then we have another question about the key learning outcomes. If you are sure, or how do you measure if they are covered, or all of them, or partially?
Yeah, without access to real agile
Yeah.
coaches. So of course they can be covered without access to real agile coaches, but then the student would need more support from the teaching personnel, because otherwise they will easily like concentrate on performing regarding the project so that they get the project done, but then they might easily forget the process part. And especially the Scrum Master role is that kind of soft role that is difficult to explain exactly what they should be doing. So if I didn't have coaches, I would probably give more lectures to the Scrum Masters and tell about the different practices.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks. And then we have another question by Torgen. What kind of feedback did you give to students? And if given by Agile coaches, did you try to ensure aligned feedback to all the students? Yeah, maybe because it can depends on the Agile coach or which kind of feedback provide to each team.
Yeah. So it totally depended on the team. So of
Yeah.
course we try to guide especially their projects, but if we think about the bachelor students, so then their performance was graded both based on the project, what they achieved in the project, but partially also like how they worked as a team and how they learned about Scrum.
Mm-hmm.
So then we were concentrating quite a lot on the Scrum part. So we gave feedback on how they had been using Scrum and gave suggestions, for example, that have you tried this? For example, you could try pair programming, or you could try different kinds of retrospectives if they had been trying only like one type of retrospective. So that kind of suggestions.
Okay. 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 We have some time. So I also had another question about the size of the sprint. How long is the size of the sprint, and if you have enough time to do all the activities?
Yeah, the sprint, what we recommend them is 2 week sprint, but students can also, if they wish to have shorter sprints, for example, if they want to try one week sprint, so that's okay. But basically they are expected to work around 2 days per week. So already 2 week sprint is just 4 working days. So it's not so much. But on the other hand, we want them to do at least 6 sprints during the project so that they can like improve and have all those different meetings several times and improve them. So that way it's good to have enough sprints.
Okay. And then another question is, which is the most important challenge for you as instructor of this course? Which is the most difficult thing that you have had to face?
Yeah, I think that the most difficult is that there are so many different like participants. So there are a group of agile coaches. So then there are customers. All the projects have different customers. So if we have 18 project teams, so we have 18 customers, and then we have the Scrum Master students, and then we have the bachelor students, and then even after that we have also like a sponsor company who is sponsoring and giving quality award, and then we have also teaching assistants. So there are so many participants, so like to handle everybody so that everybody is informed. So
Yeah.
that's the biggest challenge.
Yeah, a lot of stakeholders.
Yeah, all the stakeholders, exactly.
Okay, and is this the first time that you create this experience, or you have developed it for several years, or?
So this course we have been giving 3 times at IT University of Copenhagen, and before that I had some experience of that also in Aalto University in Finland. So, but I developed that course further for IT University of Copenhagen, and now the 4th instance is running.
Okay. We don't have much time, but if you had to do it this course again, did you change something?
Yeah, we have changed every time something small at least.
Okay, and then we have another question about the rubric. Did you use